Houston Rockets. Yeah. Michael Jordan is like beating Jesus, and you know you can't do that. Or beating Lucifer, I should say. You know, Michael Jordan is Jesus in tennis shoes. So if he's going...
Hey, yo, what the...
With Michael Jordan, it was never too early to talk about GOAT status. As you see here, no matter the age, Michael Jordan wins. These next couple of videos are just more example of his aura, his dominance, his reverence, and his respect.
And unfortunately, I got a sprained ankle, you know, and so...
Did you say fortunately you
unfortunately,
do? Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. I enjoy guarding Mike because he was, you know, the one thing I did with Mike is I never got him pissed off. You know, he make a shot, you say, good shot, Mike. You know, you don't talk trash to him so he can go off for 60. You know, you try to kill him with kindness. Yeah. You don't try to talk trash to him. So they're getting off the bus. We're done with shoot around and we're walking out and MJ says, B. Scott, what's going on? I said, what's up, MJ? He said, man, I hear that you're not playing tonight. I said, no, I sprained my ankle. He said, who's guarding me? I said, Anthony Peeler. He said, oh, 50. So I told Anthony Peeler, listen, MJ, he's probably going to go for about 50 tonight on you. So just don't piss him off. You know, just be cool. He ended up with 54.
When I was a rookie, my very first game playing against Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Oh. And we had a guy named Greg Minor guarding him. And, you know, it was a little dust up. Greg's playing hard. He's playing, you know, of course, you got to play as hard as you can. It's MJ.
Right.
It's opening night. My mom at home watching, the kids watching, everybody watching. So they got in a little scuffle. MJ's going to the free throw line. And he looks at Greg and he says, I should make you take my shoes off. I looked down, I didn't even realize it. I looked down and he got the Jordans on. So I said, oh man, this is my first game ever. I said, this is what I got to look forward to.
You learned a valuable lesson though.
Stay tapped in. I'll be reacting to this movie shortly. It's one of those movies where it really caught me off guard. You have a little kid, he gets Michael Jordan's powers, and all these players just let this little kid be better than him because he has Michael Jordan powers. I think it's pretty interesting.
It was 50 a game.
How many points a game would Michael Jordan average if he played in this league, this style, the way they play now?
10 more than his highest year.
47.
MJ would get 50.
Phil Jackson said this when he was promoting his book years ago. If Mike played today, he would average 45 in his prime.
Easy.
You believe that?
Mm-hmm.
If Michael played in this era, he'll average 50. He averaged 50 points. I don't know why you guys discuss the GOAT. Why you discuss the GOAT?
Not afraid, but nervous that you were going to be embarrassed by guarding somebody in the NBA.
No, I looked at it. I mean, I love guarding Jordan. You know, it's when I was with the Suns.
That guy was so great, not only offensively, but defensively. If he wanted to score on you, he's going to score on you. If he didn't want you to score, you weren't scoring.
Wow. It was a challenge, and I loved it. I think that was, you know, you knew you were going to get scored on. You just tried not to get, you know, as you said, embarrassed. And that's why I never said anything to Jordan.
My whole philosophy of playing Jordan was to talk golf.
Ask about how his drives and putts were, and
that's all I did.
Smart.
I was like, hey, Mike, how's the game? What kind of ball you playing?
What clubs he's using.
I'm just trying to keep him mellow, so maybe he'll give me 35. Yeah. Because if I piss him off, he's going to give me 55. Right? So I'm just talking golf. So I didn't know that was one of his motivations, and now it kind of makes sense.
Were you guarding him on the defensive side?
We kept on switching.
Jerry Krause loved Dan Marley. And just because Krause liked him was enough for me. You think he's a great defensive player? Okay, fine. I'm gonna show you that he's not.
Tom and I sitting there looking at him like, this dude is just insane.
Experience was totally different than these guys because I was a, late second round pick. I didn't know if I was gonna make the league. I was on a non-guaranteed contract. And I'll never forget one of my first exhibition games, we played the Bulls. And I was just trying to make the roster. And Michael Jordan gets the ball right in front of our bench. And I'm already scared to death. Like, God, I hope I don't get into this game. I'm not ready for this stuff. And he holds the ball out. He holds the ball out and he looks right at me. And I'm on the bench just kind of like, he holds the ball out and he goes, watch this. And he turns, he went right around Dan Marley, bam, dunks it, looks back at our bench and just starts laughing. And I'm looking like, there's no way in hell I can ever make this. Now I really don't want to.
I thought he looked at you and said, 10 years from now, I'm going to throw this.
Yeah.
There are many moments I wish I saw, basketball-wise, especially I wish was recorded. And this tops the charts. I've always, since the first time I heard this interview, I always wanted to see, how has this actually been done? How much is this exaggerated? And if I ever saw any of the players mentioned in the story, this is something I would definitely...
Did you ever get involved in trash talk with Jordan?
Thanks a lot, Jimmy.
I just wonder, but like, you don't seem like a trash talking kind of guy.
I'm not, and I never talk trash, but one time in my entire life.
With Jordan?
With Jordan.
Oh, all right.
First ever time ever talking trash. So we're with the Dream Team.
Okay.
And for 3 days in a row, we had came into a tie because what Coach Daly did, he split the team up East versus West. So Barkley, Jordan, Larry Bird, Pippen, and Patrick Ewing all played in the East.
Wow.
And then we had the West guys, myself, David Robinson, Malone, Mullen, Drexler, and John Stockton. So we would play every day, tie. So this is the 4th day. And we got out on them about 12-2. And I said, Jimmy, his eyes got big. Usually that tongue come about right here, now it's way out. He broke the huddle, he hit a 3 and he's looking at me. So he came down again, hit another 3. So the greatest shot, now I've been involved in all 3 of them. First, Dr. J walked out in air, out of bounds.
Oh yeah,
reverse layup, under.
Right.
Michael Jordan in 1991 came down on us with the right hand, tongue out. He switched in midair to the left, spun it against the glass. Now this is the greatest shot I've seen. He came down the right side, took off. David Robinson took off, and he said, okay, I'm gonna just sit here in the air. Because I know David Robinson is gonna go down. So David Robinson went to the ground. He 360, tongue moving, and dunked it.
In a practice game.
In a practice game. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was just stunned, and all of us were stunned to see him hang in the air that long and 360. Michael Jordan is so incredible. There'll never be.
The moral is you should not talk trash to Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Thank you.
You say 360, you mean like it was like full, like this, all the way?
Jordan or LeBron, who's the GOAT?
I would be like, Mike gotta play me one-on-one. I low-key think Mike's so competitive, bro. Mike could come out of retirement right now to play LeBron
and do
it.
Hell yeah. And take an L.
Calm down.
Again, with context and clarification, LeBron James' teammate, right here saying Michael Jordan could beat LeBron James. When he said right now, he's referring to an older Michael Jordan. And this is LeBron's teammate that helped him, 3-1 comeback, Cleveland Cavaliers, all that, etc.
Don't take a serious L.
You know how Mike Jordan plays? You've never seen him just sitting down and just get up in his street clothes. And every time you think, like, this can't dunk no more.
But don't you think the level of competition has been a lot more insane for LeBron?
Are you being serious?
The first time he went against the Spurs, that was before Kawhi. That's like peak Manu.
So you think Mike and Scottie wasn't going to blow that out?
He played a Thunder team with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden in the finals.
Who was going to guard Mike on that Thunder team? It wasn't going to be KD. He don't want to do it. Who was going to guard Mike? Scottie P was going to guard KD. Mike was defensive team. He was going to take Russ. Who we got to deal with?
James Harden.
He's so cute.
1982. And to see him become what everybody models themselves after. And I've gone years of saying, he was the best in the 90s, Dr. J, Oscar Robertson. I just had to admit it. I'm not going to get to do this again. He was the greatest basketball player in the NBA history. And I don't know if anybody is going to even come close.
The moment was different. But the moment when we walked in the room and you actually saw Kareem, you actually saw Jerry West, Magic. You're like, oh, I'm on this team. But the moment was when MJ came in.
When he came in.
I ain't never.
You're talking about aura.
Let me tell you something, when he walked through. You know when the coolest person walk in the room?
Yeah. It's like he sizing everybody up.
That's old dog right there.
Oh, you shooting at? We go play 1-on-1 me and you right now. Damn.
That was right away. And that's the moment I was just sitting there and I'm like, I'm listening to Jordan and Magic talk shit.
Really talk.
Yo. Like, put your sneaks on, let's go right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's up right now.
Oh, they serious.
That goal.
Did he know you were a wounded animal?
He go first, and I'm blocking his shot. Like, I'm locking him up. Like, I'm doing my thing again. I blocked his shot like 3 or 4 times. Like, I'm having my way against him defensively. Now, granted, he's 40 years old, but I'm feeling good about myself. So, fast forward a month later, we're in D.C. My ankle, we go to a doctor in Baltimore, and basically he tells me I'm done. Like, my ankle's, once again, it's not healed, it's broken, I have to have surgery. But I wanted to play against Jordan one last time. And so we're playing the Wizards. It's a TNT game.
Wait,
Thursday
don't you
night.
want to go out where you dominate him and you're blocking his shots?
I'm just thinking, my ego. Like, I'm thinking, I had him the last game. I don't need this left ankle. Just give me some.
I only need
Motrin.
one ankle.
Give me a bunch of Motrin. I'm
Okay.
gonna go out here. And when I tell you, he torched me in that first quarter. Like, literally, he gave me 20 points in the first quarter on the same play. Like, he just ran the same play every time and did this, and I could not guard him. And so, literally, I checked out of the game at the end of the first quarter, and I didn't even go to the bed. I just walked back to the locker room. Like, I was done. Like, literally, probably did, because he went at me every.
And he didn't
the
care.
Same move. Like, he didn't do anything different. It was the same move, and I had nothing for him.
Jordan probably had your x-rays in the locker room.
He probably did.
He probably knew exactly.
I'm surprised he didn't send somebody for me to come back out.
He showed up.
And when we get in the hallway, you see MJ walking towards us.
And I just remember the reaction. We're talking about aura.
He's walking, and there's more cameras on just him by himself than it is on all of us.
So, Jordan or LeBron?
Hands were sweating, my ass was sweating and shit. So I get up and I'm like, yo, Mike, what up? And the wine glass was, and I just, boom, knocked it over and it broke. I was like, oh, shit. But he was cool about it. Like, he was like, yo, young fella, you all right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Go sit back down, you good.
Out there. I'm not sure people really know how good this guy is. They usually concentrate on the fact that what a beautiful dunker he is. If he didn't dunk a basketball, he would be as great as anyone that ever played this game.
I feel like I'm the most fierce competitor there is. I don't think I'm ever going to find something to equal the game of basketball. Basketball is my love, always have been. I can't ever envision an ending of something like that until I'm dead and gone.
The Chicago Bulls pick Michael Jordan.
I've always felt that when it was all said and done, that Michael Jordan was the best player ever to play the game.
They talk about guys being competitors. He was the fiercest of all the competitors.
Whether it was a meaningless game in April or Game 6 of the NBA Finals, we just played so hard. All he wanted to do was win.
I knew, the announcers knew, everyone in the building knew, the team the Bulls were playing knew that at that moment, Michael was going to get the ball. And guess what? Michael got the ball.
Could set the bar at 7.5 feet and tell them nobody's ever jumped that before, and they say, I can do it.
Every night he stepped on the floor, he put on a cape. He can save anyone from anything.
North Carolina came to Cameron Indoor Stadium to play against Duke. During the game, Michael hit his head on the backboard. He had to stop the game. And when we broke the huddle, we kind of looked at each other going, do we have to go back out there? That guy just hit his head on the backboard.
We played a game called Chicken where we'd start out at the three-point line, go in and try to dunk on each other. Believe it or not, I actually dunked on Michael Jordan. He probably would deny that, but I did.
When I hear your name, I think of how much I detested you because we could never get over the top.
Right now, I would go up to him and just grab his neck and just...
As a fan of the bad boy Detroit Pistons, I was so elated when we eliminated the Bulls a couple of years, but when the Bulls finally got over the hump, I felt like I was in the line with Isaiah and Lambeer and the rest of the crew that walked off the floor and didn't shake the Bulls' hands.
Ask him who wears number 23, he'll say Michael Jordan.
I chose number 23. One of the reasons was because of Michael Jordan.
He was the blueprint for how to make a lot of money as a personality and as a personal brand.
The other day we were going through a walkthrough and there was 15 guys in the room and 13 of those 15 guys had on Jordans.
Playing against him for the first time at the United Center, and I got thrown into the fire. Nice baseline spin move. I knew it was coming. He was just so strong. By the time I tried to body him off, he just
swatted me away like a fly.
I'm in his basement, and he have all this old footage on VHS. I'm watching the game. It's like 3 in the morning. He came down there like, "Oh, come on, we going upstairs to the gym." He broke down how to score the basketball. That year, I was averaging like almost 30.
He came to San Antonio to play. I just remember the energy in that building when they walked into there. The first shot I took like a 15-footer. I think I shot it like 8 feet.
I wanted to be like him. I wore the same number as him. I wanted to wear my uniform like him.
When you think of Michael Jordan as just that competitive fire, he held everybody on the team to a championship standard. And this type of leader you look at and admire and want to be like.
He was all universe, all planet, the best of the best.
It had been 14 years since he last had touched a baseball bat. To go to the AA level and to do what he did, he's a phenomenal athlete.
It's going to beat Michael Jordan after going to dinner with him and Michael picking up the tab. It was no way it was going to happen. And sure enough, it didn't happen. He tried that with me, but I wasn't going for it.
Michael Jordan was everything.
Everybody's hero.
That guy's got a lot of heart.
I was just so in awe.
He changed my life.
Once in a lifetime.
He's the greatest of all time.
He can help you.
He can still play the game, honestly. The way I see him, I think he can still play the game, and if you want to. But, you know, just 50 years old, man, going out after 25 years old, and playing as hard as he was playing. So he's pretty good.
And he can help us out. There's a lot of things that he knows about the game that can help us out. We still got a young team that needs some understanding. And wherever he goes show us and teach us how to do it, we're going to take advantage of it.
I mean, that's not the first time I played against. The first time I was excited, a little nervous, but the second time it's just, he's one of the guys now. So he's one of us. He's a Bobcats owner, so he's part of the team that we have here. So it's just a lot of fun for me.
If I could have Michael sign for the year, I shouldn't even say that. He can do that all day. There's no question in my mind he can come in right now and be effective in the NBA. There's not a doubt in my mind.
All I did was shoot, and more or less just help the morale of the players. The last couple of days is all about just trying to.
And he actually beat you. What was that experience like playing? A lot of people say is the greatest player of all time. What was that experience like playing him one-on-one?
It was a dream come true. Made a dream come true. That's really about it. That's my boss. So, but that's really it.
If you have the opportunity to play him one-on-one again, anything that you would do differently on defense to try to beat your boss?
Nah, I win them.
Respected and revered. MJ was feared. You know the difference.
You scared of MJ?
Yeah.
For how long? Right when you took the floor?
No, the whole game. One, he's the greatest player. Two, I was worried about him dunking on me and have to go back and, face the fellas. And then three, he was just so hot. I was like, man, this dude, like, the stuff that I saw when I was in college on TV, it's like really real. I was terrified. But, when I got the ball and saw those bums they had playing me, I was going to go to work.
Bums? When they say, well, you can take your right hand away, you knew to go left with certain people. And then with Jordan, I think you said it just said good luck. Good luck. Yeah. That's it. That's all it said. Yeah, good luck. On him, it's just like good luck.
When you play against Michael Jordan, you not only have to stand up to him physically, you have to stand up to him mentally, because he will torment you with his play. Just like that, in your face. See, he looks for an edge. He looks for something to get him in this kind of frame of mind. He wants starts to come back at him.
Oh, I mean, we was just all scared of Jordan. So I mean, that when you show me against him, yeah, I get a little hot. His regular season average against the Pistons was 37.5.
Good grief.
And then some nights he would get hot, Q.
People were afraid of him. We were his teammates.
Yeah, he was a hell of a teammate. He was pushing us all to be better because he wanted to win.
I mean, exactly. He just had this charisma on top of all the gifts and skills, and mentally, how great he is. I mean, playing against him, the one thing that I think that he was unlike any other player I've ever played against is that there was a real fear playing against him. Like people, I've never seen who has come since then. That was a different feeling when you're playing.
Kobe, not saying that you had to switch it up, but I didn't have that fear.
Yeah.
Mike would have, you better bring your game.
Z wszystkich koszykarzy NBA. Dziś
The response, I mean, there was a great picture from the Portland paper. Michael walking onto the floor with our team, and there's a single file line, and you see in the background all these kids standing, taking pictures and like reaching out to touch him. It's like, I compare it to biblically about people reaching out trying to touch Christ's garment. It's like they just want to touch him.
I'm never going against Jordan, dog. I've never seen, I thought Michael Jordan was Jesus Christ, like praying to be Michael Jordan. I swear to God, dog.
It's like playing against MJ your rookie year.
Shaking in my boots. First time. shaking in the first time I had the guard. I'm like, yo, this, man, first of all, let me go back. 1997, MJ them in the playoffs. I think they played against the Hawks, right? I'm at the game, playoff game. Bruh, I got an opportunity to go in the back by the locker room after the game. So I'm standing back there. I'm 17 years old, kid. I've never been around NBA players like this, or even, I've never been around somebody like MJ. So I'm standing back there, kid, and Pip comes out. All these players start coming out. Mike comes around that corner. Bruh, I ain't gonna lie to you. The man had a glow, bro. I swear, Mike, dog, that shit is real.
I believe it.
That shit is real.
Hey, KG said the same thing. You just feel his energy. He don't say shit. You feel that energy.
I'm not joking, bro.
Black
it's
Jesus,
real.
man, I'm telling you.
Mike came out, I was like, damn, bro. I ain't know what to say, man. I was like, that's MJ, dog. That's MJ. So fast forward, I'm on the court with him for my rookie year. It took me about a quarter to get over the fact that this Mike.
You want to be fast like Isaiah, and you want to shoot like Bird, rebound like Barkley, pass like Magic, be dominant like Shaq. But man, I wanted to be like Mike. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I played against him, and I walked out on the court, and I looked at him, and for the first time in my life, a human being didn't look real to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if y'all watch the Chappelle show, but he talk about a certain incident where he seen somebody sing Rick James, and like I literally seen his aura, like it looked like he was glowing.
Michael Jordan for me was like, it looked like he was like Jesus, Black Jesus walking towards me. Yeah. So when he walked in, it was like, I didn't know what to say. It was overwhelming to meet, to finally meet the guy I've looked up to my whole life.
Really? The same number as Michael, too, 23.
Right. Man, that's my inspiration in basketball, to see what he did on the court and to see what he did off the court. I didn't think it was no other number to wear besides. The way that he approached the game, the way that he led his troops when he went out on the court, and his never say die attitude, man, was something I always looked up to. The first, so I'm growing up and I'm watching, this guy Michael Jordan. I think all you guys know him. I think. So I'm growing up watching this guy on TV every day, and I'm like, wow, he's an amazing basketball player. Hopefully someday I get an opportunity to meet him. So. I think it was my junior year in high school. I go up to Chicago and I go to a gym called Hoops where he plays basketball in the summertime. And I didn't know he was going to be there. But I seen him walking towards me, and it was kind of like he was walking on air. I had to pinch myself. Is that Michael? Who? And it's like he was like Black Jesus to me. Like that was like one of the best feelings I've ever had.
Did he know of you?
Well, yeah, I think he did. He called me a young fella, of course, and just basically told me to keep working at it, and someday I can get to the NBA. I was a junior in high school, so, I guess he told me something right, and I just kept working at it.
When I met Michael Jordan for the first time, I literally couldn't believe it was him. I couldn't believe it. Like, the dude looked like Jesus Christ to me. He looked like he was Black Jesus to me. No one could tell me anything different when I was in Chicago, Maverick and I and our good friend G, they take us to hoops. I'm going there. And before they play, they say Mike always, used to lift before they play. So we walk upstairs and nobody told me that Mike lifted before he played. I don't know anything about lifting right now. I'm a high school sophomore. I don't know anything about lifting. We walk up there. The first person I see is Charles Oakley. Oak being from Cleveland, dapped him up. I had seen Oak around the city a few times, and Oak moved. And when he moves, Mike is sitting on the bench press. And I was like, oh my fucking God. I didn't think he was real, man. You don't understand. I didn't think Michael Jordan was real. I only thought he lived in the TV. And when I saw him, I was like, if the man above would have took me that day, I would live a hell of a life. I swear to God. So for me to be on the court, at 16 years old, sophomore in high school with, my favorite player of all time, man, it was like, this can't be real, man. If you pinch me, man, I was like, please, I hope I don't wake up.
Yeah, I remember that game. It was a point in that game, it was like to 7 or whatever, just like a pickup. It was pickup. And Stackhouse was there, and Paul Pierce, and Penny was playing.
Ron Artest at the time.
Jamal Crawford, all the baby bulls, Eddie Curry. But Mike and Twine were like, they split them up. They were kind of the captains of each team, and they wouldn't stop. And Mike hit a game winner in the game, just like Brian said, with the foul, same Utah foul in the pickup.
Same thing.
And was like, yeah, that's why they pay me $33 million to do this. That's why they pay me $33 million. I'll never forget that.
Michael Jordan! He was in the audience. I know he can help. Number 20.
That summer, I start going there, working out with him, playing with him. And he was just like, his aura, it was like a ghost.
He doesn't seem real, does he?
I swear to God, he had the orange joint. Hey, listen, I'm not even laughing at this. You ever look into the sun? I want to don't do this, but look into the sun, and if you look into the sun and look back at something, you're going to see like a green, right? Man, listen, and from North Carolina, to hear that,
Jordan, you gonna see an orange?
Lord, listen, I'm in Chicago, I hear it. The nigga walk out here, I swear to God, it seems like everything is stopped. This nigga is moving like in slow motion. Every motherfucker in here looking at him, and he know it.
Right.
Never seen a nigga on the stage like bro, MJ.
Michael Jordan out there was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Never talk trash to Black Jesus. Like God.
When talking about facing Jordan during his prime, Charlotte Hornets legend Glenn Rice described the experience like facing someone with superpowers. Rice and Jordan faced each other 29 times, with MJ holding a 25-4 winning record over Glenn. Oh my God, it was almost like you're playing against God, but we all know that can't happen. Rice shared in 2018 on Hoop Hall's 60 Days of Summer. And the reason why I really truly believe that Michael Jordan is the best player to ever play the game of basketball is because you'll never find a competitor who is as fierce on both ends of the floor like a Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is my GOAT.
You're Michael Jordan. You're the fucking man.
He's the greatest that ever. Name an athlete who is more influential than Michael Jordan.
None.
In their sport.
None. Look at Jordan's.
Or drop 63 in the Garden, or gutted out in the flu game, or hit the shot 3 different times over Georgetown, over Elo, over Russell. We might not have seen him take on Larry Bird in horse, or lift up the sport globally along with the Dream Team. Yet MJ is still more than those moments, more than just the best player on the 2 greatest teams of all time, the Dream Team and the 1996 Chicago Bulls. He's more than just a logo, more than just an internet meme. It's more than just a charitable donor or a business owner committed to diversity. There is a reason you call somebody the Michael Jordan of. Michael Jordan of neurosurgery, or the Michael Jordan of rabbis, or the Michael Jordan of outrigger canoeing. And they know what you're talking about. Because Michael Jordan is the Michael Jordan of greatness. He is the definition
of somebody so good at what they do that everybody recognizes it. That's pretty rare.
Michael J. Jordan.
To see Michael Ocho, and I tell people this, and you look at, as a matter of fact, Damon, go listen to Damon Lillard say when he saw him at the 75th anniversary, he said he didn't say anything to him, so he couldn't believe it.
Right.
Ocho, this man doesn't seem real. He's the only man that I've ever met. He doesn't seem, he seems mythical. He doesn't, I know that's Michael Jordan. I'm looking at him, that's a man.
Right.
But Ocho, there's something about, man, he levitates. And anybody that's ever met him, from Shaq to everybody, say the exact same thing.
Same thing.
He doesn't seem real.
Yeah, that.
I'm looking at him, and I know he thought I was crazy because it's like he was levitating. And I know you're not supposed to play reverence, and you're not supposed to be blasphemous like this, but he's like a god. I mean, people. If I can't explain it. And everybody else that's ever met him, even superstars from Shaq and to Jordan, Shaq to LeBron, everybody else that's ever met him has said the exact same thing, that he doesn't seem real. It's like he's levitating.
It looks like there's white smoke around him. I promise you, it's something else.
Man, I'll never forget my first time. I talked about it in my Hall of Fame speech. And I wasn't lying at all, man. He didn't look real to me. I know I was starstruck. I know I was starstruck because, like I said, I talked about the Charlie Murphy Hollywood stories, and he talked about Rick James and how Rick James walked in the room and he saw like the orange, like his aura.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I saw that. Like I looked at that man and he didn't look human to me.
Yep.
You know, I'm looking at him like, damn, he got on the Jordans. You know, he don't even have on the before the game. But when that ball went up and somebody hand
on an elevator, he was on there with his first wife, Juanita, back in Atlanta, the Super Bowl. And I'm looking at him, and he probably looking at me like, this dude weird. I know who he is. He like, but look how he looking at me like, I'm like, he like he was levitating. He didn't look real.
Tina, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
The killer.
Okay.
I've spoke about Michael Jordan many times. Never met him, don't know him, don't want to meet him. I like him too much. I respect him too much.
Who was, in your mind, your game you were playing? Wow, I love Michael Jordan. What you get from me is from him. Who are you all sporting? Michael Jordan. Why him? Que James por basketball más. No, bueno, porque me parece a nivel deportivo lo más resultado. Pero una de las personas que yo aprendí cuando conocí. I've never seen people react like they do to him. In every corner of the world, there was someone who just wanted to see it.
It's Michael Jordan! Michael Jordan!
I want to be like Mike.
Negative or...
We've seen Courtney Lee, we've seen Dwight Howard, LeBron James set up once again for a photo finish.
So amazing, so amazing.
Courtney Lee, we've seen Dwight Howard, LeBron James set up once again for a photo finish.
So amazing, so amazing.